Your pathetic rebellion ends here.
2015 has been a great year for Star Wars fans. The release of The Force Awakens in December and the reinvention of the Star Wars Battlefront franchise. It seemed that Christmas had come early. The hype was real and the expectations high for this much-loved series. I myself, a fan of the original Battlefront games and admitted Star Wars geek, have hours of fond memories of sitting next to my friends, playing in split-screen mode as we reenacted some of the coolest moments in Star Wars lore. So the thought of what was possible with the power of next-gen hardware and the years of experience gained by the people at DICE, responsible for huge multiplayer titles like Battlefield, was an exciting one. It's safe to say that Star Wars Battlefront for me was one of my most highly anticipated games of 2015, and I expected it wholeheartedly to be a serious contender for the Game of the Year. So did it live up to the hype? Well, no one more than I is as disappointed to say that no, it did not, and that not only did it not live up to the hype, it was actually one of the most disappointing games of 2015 for me. Now, don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean that the game is bad by any stretch of the imagination, but it could have been so much better. If there's one phrase that sums up Star Wars Battlefront perfectly, it's a wasted opportunity. So let me explain to you what I liked and disliked about the game and what I would have liked to see. Let's start as always with the good. One of the strongest elements of the game is the incredible attention to detail and fidelity to the Star Wars universe. The game feels like it's been created and nurtured by actual Star Wars fans. The amount of research, love, blood and sweat put into the game really shines through, and the people at DICE should be commended for this. The worlds are beautifully crafted. There are 4 main worlds covering 12 maps to begin with, soon to be expanded upon in DLC. The sound effects and music are brilliantly used to create a truly unique atmosphere and an epic experience. You really feel like you're in the middle of a Star Wars movie. It all creates a truly immersive gameplay experience that leaves you wanting to play more. For those hardcore Star Wars fans, there are lots of little gems and head nods to the original series. Having watched the original movies again in preparation for The Force Awakens, it was a joy to come across these in the game and think, oh, I remember that, that's cool. Even the weapons have their own unique sounds. It's an amazing playground for Star Wars fans to explore and will, I'm sure, nurture a love and interest in the original movies for the generation of moviegoers and gamers that have only ever experienced the prequels. Speaking of weapons, there are a good range of weapons available, each with their own stats that become available as you level up. There is a good range of choice for those that prefer short or long range combat, or if you're like me, you can pick something in the middle. The guns are easy to use and very accessible for first time gunners. The ability to switch between first and third person perspective is also extremely useful. Though why you would ever play in first person view is beyond me. Those playing in third person clearly have a tactical advantage as they can see more and move more easily. However, for more seasoned first-person shooters, the weapons might seem stale and samey when compared to other first-person shooters like Call of Duty or Battlefield. This could be due to the laser-based nature of the guns and might seem jarring when compared to the more realistic, gritty nature of guns in other franchises. Another sorely lacking element to the game is the complete lack of customization for weapons. There is no customization at all, not even superficial elements like skins. This massive oversight by DICE seems almost unforgivable and a definite missed opportunity to add some personalization and depth to the game. Similarly, there is a poor level of customization for characters, which effectively constitutes a set of 19 uninspired and repetitive facial skins, and there is no costume customization available at all. I wonder why DICE failed to include this element, and whether they plan to rectify this shortcoming in the future. For those of you looking for a varied multiplayer experience, that is definitely here. There are 9 multiplayer game modes in total, which range from massive 40-player modes like Walker Assault to the smaller 8-player modes like Cargo or Drop Zone. I know that many gamers disliked Walker Assault and found it incredibly unbalanced in favour of the Empire, and I do agree with this assessment, but I still enjoyed the challenge immensely and had no problem with it. For me, the unbalanced nature of combat and massive technological firepower of the Empire makes perfect sense, and I think this was a conscious decision by DICE to be faithful to the Empire and battles portrayed in the original trilogy. My two favourite modes though were without a doubt Fighter Squadron and Heroes vs Villains. I have been waiting a long time, since the days of Rogue Squadron on the GameCube, for a decent dogfighting Star Wars game, and Battlefront doesn't disappoint. The controls of both the X-Wing and TIE fighters are brilliant. Whether in first person or third person, the experience is awesome. The developers again have done their research here. The look, sound effects and feel of all the vehicles are unique and fun. Plus, who wouldn't love the chance to grab a token and pilot the Millennium Falcon or Slave One, both of which are incredibly OP and oh so cool to play as. Though to improve this mode, I would have removed the AI characters and replaced them with a bigger roster of human players for an even bigger challenge. But hey, the game mode is still fun. My favourite mode has to be Heroes vs Villains. Fighting as an Imperial Trooper or Rebel Soldier is cool and all, but let's be real here. We all want to play as Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader, so the ability to play as these characters exclusively is epic. The game is a 6v6 mode where 3 play villains and 3 play heroes. What I love about this mode is the strategy and teamwork involved. Sure, you could run off half-cocked and aggressive, but you'll die quickly. Each team must work together to survive. Leia, with her shield and healing ability, is a perfect support character, Han a long-range sharpshooter, and Luke a close-quarters badass. Each character plays very differently, and these differences are a lot of fun. For those of you who enjoy sitting on the couch next to your friends, then the split-screen co-op survival mode will be perfect for you. This consists of 15 waves of enemies that get progressively more difficult. It is horde mode at its finest, but sadly for me, this mode soon became repetitive and dull. Yes, there is also the versus battle mode as well, where you can compete against a friend to see who can kill the most enemy NPCs, but sadly this mode too is boring and uninspired. In fact, both modes just feel tacked on as an afterthought and don't cover up the glaringly obvious missed opportunity and major weakness of the game: the complete lack of a single-player campaign. For a game that looks and sounds so beautiful, there was so much potential here for an amazing single-player experience. The developers at DICE could have created an epic story revolving around the events of the original trilogy, and could have even released a new expansion pack covering the events of the new Force Awakens, which I would have happily bought. It just leaves the game feeling hollow and superficial. It stinks of lazy development. It feels like so much is missing. No story mode, no space battles, a limited number of maps and game modes that will inevitably get old and tiresome. Combine this with a ridiculously overpriced season pass at £40 and it just leaves a sour taste in the mouth that will no doubt put many people off buying the game. Overall, I would give Star Wars Battlefront a 6 out of 10. Yes, it's a fun game to play with friends, looks and sounds amazing, but this is all window dressing that covers up a game which is hollow at heart and is severely lacking in content and substance. Battlefront is just not worth the asking price of £40, let alone the £80 that EA and DICE have the cheek to ask for. It's a worrying trend that we have seen in the last 2 years of online-only games like Destiny and Battlefront that are growing in popularity and on the surface look great, but are sorely lacking in key areas like story and content, replaced by amazing graphics, repetitive uninspired missions, and underhanded greedy DLC tactics. I just don't understand why we can't have an amazing multiplayer online experience and an amazing single player experience too. But that's a video for another time. So there you have it. Those are my thoughts on Star Wars Battlefront. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. And as always, guys and girls, happy gaming.
Great work. We've driven back the Empire. I wish I could see the Emperor's face right now.